We're going to crank on with just 2 or 3 questions now, and then we'll invite the panel up, and then we'll have perhaps Guy and Peter back when we have the main panel, just so that you can ask some more questions. So is anyone stepping over themselves to get to the microphone? They all agree.
HandBrake from the Institute of Landscape Architects. I think we're probably quite encouraged. The question I asked Dave this morning was about NPS, and you've just said that you've got to be an NPS factory, so that's great news. I think one of the things that I'm hoping I'm getting from your conversation, and I'd like you to clarify it, is, I guess, more stakeholder engagement, because I think historically, particularly our organisation, but I know many others, have actually found it very difficult to get engaged with the ministry. And in fact, my conversation with Amy Adams last year was that she quite categorically didn't want to talk to us because we were biased. So I'm wondering, is that going to change, and then how do we go about doing that?
Well, I'd hope at least partly that it has changed a little bit. I mean, anyone in the room who's been involved in the Land and Water Forum will have seen the ministry, both myself and other senior people across the natural resources sector involved in that process, as well as key staff. Our effort to actually get better engagement with territorial authorities is part of that, particularly when there's a lot of them. But I think, yeah, the signal we're sending now, and certainly looking at the durability of the resource management system and a whole bunch of the issues that have arisen over time that I've talked about in my address, we need to get better at, and the only way we move that forward is by having conversations. But I've got to stress one other thing in that context, and that is that our experience, and certainly my experience over the last 6 years or so, is we're also better to facilitate conversations between the likes of all of you, rather than a bilateral conversation, whether it's with the Ministry for the Environment or the Ministry for Primary Industries or the Ministry of Business, Innovation and Employment, and that's been the practice off and on over the last 20 years or so, and we need to break through that as well.
Clearly, you've wowed them with your presentation, Guy, and they're going to actively participate in all the discussions that are going to go on in the next little while. So thank you too, and I'll invite the panel up now. So thanks very much. So if we can.